our Patreon.
Excellent.
Steve has been served with a restraining order, and I'm going to give you the details on the situation in this stream. And I'm going to do a full upload to document and end the versus mode series now that this has happened, because for 2 years or more legally, he can't talk about her, reference her, participate in groups about her, which is weird because he's still doing those things, and I'm actually feeling bad for the guy at this point. Not from the sense that he doesn't deserve this, but maybe he is having a mental breakdown. Though there are people defending him now, and it almost baffles the mind, because on this stream, I'll also show you what the judge saw that made them make up their mind, and I'll hit all the super chats later. The judge saw some clips that are inexcusable, whether you're criticizing someone or not, that went outside that realm of criticism because it threatened her family, it threatened her well-being. That's not criticism. And to see these defenders of him with such closed minds, I have to agree with certain people that say that there's a cult-like situation going on. Oh, crap, I got to switch that off. There is a cult-like situation going on when people that, consider themselves to be skeptics or critical thinkers instead can't look at the evidence and make up their mind on this in some kind of legit way, because no one's saying you have to abandon the guy. Why wouldn't you at least criticize it? You're not someone's friend if you can't criticize them, at least a little bit, especially when it's gone this far. So let's just kick this off, because after today, this whole thing's done. He can't go on. They won't have their leader there, because if he does lead them still, he'll be locked up. The first violation is like X amount of days in jail with a $1,000 fine. The second violation is years in jail. The third violation is a felony. You can't violate this thing. He's already violated it. It's crazy. So anyway, as much as it seems mind-boggling, like we're in an alternate dimension, I'll show you what he did. I'll show you the things that he's hiding from you. So that, because the supporters obviously aren't seeing this stuff. No, everybody left that supported him, other than the few disgusting people who are okay with what he said, but yet are liars. So they put on a public face and try their best to avoid the things that he actually did wrong. Anyway, so I suppose let's do it and get this shit done, because I didn't expect this. I don't think you expected this. In fact, if you would have told me in November, when I was criticizing Katie off of his fake evidence, his Photoshop creations and his setup faked evidence against Katie, when I was criticizing Katie, if you would have told me it would wind up with Katie successfully getting a restraining order, not only a restraining order with qualification by the judge for the Violence Against Women Protection Act, which took the restraining order. And I did talk to a few people with legal knowledge on this, though this isn't legal advice or a legal take, it's my opinion. Though factually, I can tell you that when a restraining order is combined or given the thingy of a Violence Against Women Act, it basically takes it to all jurisdictions in the United States. So it's not even a statewide thing. The lawyers that I talked to were almost baffled. Like, so basically they filed, and then if he does anything, they're going to have to file in California, or they're going to have them get jurisdiction over to California to actually take care of any of this. And it's like, no, the judge was so affected by what the judge saw. The judge added a indicator of the Violence Against Women Act, Violence Against Women Protection Act, or whatever that is. I could be saying, I thought there was a protection in it, but you'll have to look it up. I'm sure you will, because you are actual critical thinkers. It's why you're here and not still, listening to the excuses that we were given in the beginning of this story. Though I have to admit, normally my live streams, I'm like not as baffled. I'm pretty baffled at the fact that we are sitting here, and you can tell because I'm not doing my show as I normally do, my intro as I normally do. I'm pretty baffled here at the fact that this is where we are. We are literally sitting here where if it's violated, and it already has been, and I'll show you evidence of it, and it's already been given to the attorney who filed this, and he's probably already going to get violated on the first minute of having it, or the first 10 minutes of having it, which I don't want him in jail. I mean, if he's going to keep doing what he's doing to Katie, I guess he should be. But then again, I don't like wishing things like that on people. And it's crazy to think of, is this a YouTube precedent? When is the last story we have ever heard where a YouTuber gets a restraining order against another YouTuber who is not their boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or whatever? When have we ever heard about a story on YouTube that involves a YouTuber getting a restraining order against another YouTuber in another state that is so severe that it is enforceable by every law enforcement agency in the United States of America? When is there I don't even think I remember of a story where one YouTuber gets another YouTuber a restraining order because of YouTube content. But that's what happened. That's literally what happened. This is a YouTube precedent. And Creepshow Art, you have to cover this because she's covered Steve before. She covered Lily Jean and Steve. So why Creepshow Art should be covering this? Hell, Keemstar and other people should be covering this because it's a YouTube precedent. It will be documented somewhere. Other than this channel, there will be like a YouTube first documentary made about how Steve McRae got this restraining order from another YouTuber that he's never met, that he only talked to a couple times through YouTube videos, and it turned into this. This is an insane story. It's crazy. It's a first. Did you ever think we would be involved in a YouTube first like this when this all started? I didn't. Though, oh no, hold on. I'm going to kick this off a different way. I'm going to kick this off the way I want to kick this off. I've been laying low. I've been chilling. I've been working on resolving these videos, getting them out. It's been a long process. I am not holding back anymore. My show's back. It's been pumping, and we're going to keep pumping it. It's June 2nd of 2020. I'm your host, UNIRock. This is UNIRock Live, broadcasted from the East Coast of the glorious United States of America. Thanks for coming. Today, we're going to talk about the first YouTube restraining order received between two strangers who have a restraining order between them now, from Katie to Steve McRae, from Without a Crystal Ball to Steve McRae of Non Sequitur Show. We're going to talk about the first YouTube restraining order that I know of, and I will make sure to find out, if there is another one like this, of course, tonight. This is UNIRock Live. Play it again, Biz.
Excellent.
Rachel, he is. He already is on one of his accounts. He just has to log into that account. Yeah, he is. He's good. He is all good. Okay, so if I'm gonna tell this tale for you, I'll hit all super chats, y'all. Don't worry, I'm not gonna let it go. I'll hit them. Give me a second. I'll start getting to them, and I'll try to knock them out as we go. All this started for me when he approached me asking me to cover the Katie Joy versus him situation in the versus mode fashion, because I had a series called Versus Mode. I'd done a versus mode about that one chick, April Lejeune, and some other YouTube beefs. I did one about that one dude that did mukbangs and stuff. You remember. Okay. Anyway, though, the real story started in June when Katie was on Non Sequitur and had been for a while, but she spoke out on Twitter to tell people why she wouldn't be appearing on Non Sequitur, or especially with McRae, ever again, because she felt uncomfortable over his references to his private parts made in a advance against her, as she claimed. Now, I have on the Rockalot channel, of course, this is just a repeat, this part of it, but I've shown you his statements. He has many times said that they did have that conversation, but he's many times said that they have not had that conversation. He acknowledges what her claim is, yet at the same time lies and states that the claim happened on Twitter or is different. All you need to know is that the evidence is on the Rockalot channel in every screenshot of Katie talking about this on Twitter in June, and him responding with the direct quote of her accusation. Therefore, for the blog to be made and other things, and David Silverman and others, and the many times he said it happened on Twitter and other places, those were all obfuscations. And it did cause a lot of people to wonder why, if you are being honest, why are you changing your story so much? And why can't you at least have the respect of maybe disagreeing with her or just letting it go after putting out a statement on it? Because a year went by from June until now. Wait. Oh my God. The restraining order went through on the 1-year anniversary of the accusation. The restraining order went through on the 1-year anniversary of the accusation. It was accused at the very beginning of June in 2019. And 1 year later in 2020, on June 2nd, the restraining order went in. That's crazy. See what I'm saying, dude? It's just nuts. Anyway, what we know from being outsiders in this, because no one was there but them. No one was there but Katie and him. He will use Bullinator as a shield to defend and say, hey, Bullinator didn't hear it, so it didn't happen. But yet, she says they were alone when it happened. A lot of things just don't add up about his defense on it. And it would have went away. I want you all to understand, this is one of the smallest communities having something happen where the most maximum Streisand effect has been applied. Because of only his actions, it would have all went away with the 2 tweets that she made responding to Shannon Q, Godless Engineer's wife, and other people basically telling them what happened on Twitter in Twitter replies. If he would have just made a statement and moved on or not did what he did this last year, it would have went away. He Barbara Streisanded this entire thing, mentioning it daily sometimes. If not, I don't think a week went by. So daily mentioning it for a year. Sometimes there would be a gap of a week, if that at the very most. He Barbara Streisand this shit into YouTube mythology. This is insane. For those of you that don't know, one more time here, Katie Joy got the restraining order. The judge escalated it under the Violence Against Women Act. And because of that, it's not enforceable at the state level. It's enforceable at the federal level. He is literally in a lot of trouble. This is a criminal type of thing. And, oh, shit. Let me go there. So we're going to breach from the story into current events. We're leaving it with, after the accusation, all of the last year. And in order to see what happened, you should watch Rockalot streams or see a couple of the previous videos on UNIRocktv because they detail it out. Warning, I'm going to be showing you videos that the judge saw that made the judge make up their mind in this. They are bad. You get me? So I'm telling you, if you're gonna, if it'll upset you to see these videos, they're not anything graphic. It's just the speech he's using. I'm just making sure. The first thing is Katie tweeted this out. Service complete. She tweeted this out at 3 p.m. That means he's been served. He's been handed. Remember what he didn't do to Kyle in their suit? He was served. Okay. Then he posts inside of the... he posts inside of a group dedicated to trolling and doxing and harassing, provably now, and the judge has seen it, Katie Joy. As the administrator, he doesn't take himself off the administrator. He doesn't, immediately leave the group. Oh, no, he's still using the group. He's still in there. This is bad. My guy, we were friends once. Save yourself. Leave the group. Leave Katie Joy in the dust. Go do your thing. Don't go to jail over this. Why? I'm going to now do it because Uni told me not to, because Uni must be tricking me. I'm not tricking you. This is like human beings talking here to each other. Don't get yourself locked up. You get locked up the first time, dude. This is enough. This is enough. Go read the paper, then go see if this isn't enough. It's enough. You violated already. I got many more. Update, I've received some legal paperwork an hour ago that is absolutely ridiculous. I have a meeting with my ridiculous. Sorry, I mispronounced his imaginary word. I know it's supposed to be ridiculous, but it's funner this way. I have received some legal paperwork an hour ago that is ridiculous. I have a meeting with my lawyer tomorrow. You've got people saying, I'm sorry, I hope you can fight it. We'll talk about that. She's pushing your hand. She better watch out. So she gets threatened. This is going to put him in jail. This right here is going to put him in jail. This is why they gave you a restraining order. You are inciting this shit. No, they should go after this person. He literally goes to the group and says it's not a troll group. They don't threaten Katie. They don't dox Katie. They have done nothing but threaten Katie, make fun of Katie, make fun of her son, make fun of her husband. Put her down. You have, being the administrator, did not kick the people doing this, therefore fostered it to what it is today, allowing it all to happen. And literally, He didn't even moderate the threat against Katie. He didn't moderate the threat made. This is a threat. She is pushing your hand. She better watch out. So some people out on the internet would say, oh, you just SJWing out, Uni. They just doxed her with her address underneath the docs in this very group. One of the admins said, and I quote, "We have Katie's address. She thinks she's safe." So yes, it's credible at this point. At least it's meant to make her fear this. This has already been given to the attorneys. It's already being submitted. He couldn't make it 7 freaking minutes. Or I'm sorry. I don't know when he posted it. I would assume it was just like right after he realized what was going on. Jesus Christ. She is pushing your hand. She better watch out. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm not going to do anything. Well, really? In the group where they shared her address and threatened her with, and then where at her home, people have done things physically to her home after the address was shared. You don't think it's going to like be bad to write, she better watch out. She's pushing. It's just crazy. Where were you served, or did it come in the mail? See, they're already trying to, he has them brainwashed. He has them thinking that everything Katie does is a lie. Now, I have a question. Everything that Katie has ever filed, everything that Kyle Curtis has ever filed, everything that they have ever said, every word that comes out of their mouths has been made fun of, twisted, and basically shit upon in this group by him and by his friends. Why is he saying legal papers? Why is he saying I received some legal paperwork? Why isn't he not telling them what it is? Anybody want to type it in my chat? Why is he not saying what it is? Why isn't he saying, Katie got a restraining order against me? It's legal. It's in there. It's done. It's over. I can't talk about it for 2 years. If he's going to post there, why is he making it ambiguous? He's making it ambiguous purposely, but he won't. But what he does with Katie is make it specific, and he makes it negative. He makes it, he warps everything she says to be an error, to be bad, to be nasty, to be mean. Remember when she laughed at a comment in her comment section, they said she was conspiring to bully the person that was under the comment. So you can go that specific, but you can't tell people even what really happened here, because saying some legal paperwork is just a lie. It's a restraining order, and he knows it. It's just crazy. Anyway, so then over on the Cleaning Up Condoms subreddit ran by ProLib, I have received legal paperwork an hour ago. It's absolutely ridiculous. I have a meeting. Then Randolph Richardson, who is somebody that Steve basically for no reason at all just attacked like crazy. He's a respected person on the internet in the atheist circles. Serious update, Steve McRae has been served with a restraining order in accordance with the Violence Against Women Act. In retrospect, I have no regrets in making my decision to disassociate from Steve McRae and cancel our impending conversation/debate. I also think that it's a good thing that you did disassociate, Randolph. So you go a little further. Same thing here, but it's got different comments, and I don't exactly know why. I guess it's just because people that puts the stuff up here as soon as they pop in. But I received legal paperwork an hour ago. Kyle's lawyer's back in business. F them up, Katie Joy. I hope you can sue her for legal cost. Wow. So then ProLib says, I wonder if Steve will magically get 500 more subs in the next 3 days. And S.J. Thompson, who is a Christian apologist who has defended Steve with her blog, right? Steve lives rent-free in your mind, ProLib. Why are you and others here so obsessed with him, not realizing the irony here? They're not realizing the irony. This doesn't have to do with anyone's obsession with him. It has to do with his obsession of Katie Joy and what he's done to her. By the way, Katie Joy, is she at 90,000 yet? Did she hit 90,000? We are in the middle. Oh, have you kept up with current events? We're in the middle of a pandemic with Antifa protests, 3 hurricanes into the season. and you're focused on Steve's subscribers, well, it's because he's buying them, in my opinion. Everybody. He got 560 views yesterday or the day before, and he gained over 300 subs that day. So, provably now, without any shout out, without anything on the internet happening, the dude had a 65% plus 65%, so more than 65% conversion rate of views to subscribers. It's not possible. It doesn't work like that. PewDiePie shouts him out. I'll believe it. PewDiePie didn't shout him out. Neither did any other YouTuber. You should shut your mouth. You had no problem defending him and justifying his actions during said pandemic. I agree. I defend people who are mistreated. So I hope that you, who have watched this story, take in how blind and how brainwashed people can be by just showing them selective information. Selective information combined with many liars, like 5 or 10 liars to go around daily publishing BS on the internet, trying to connect it to political movements. One thing that Silverman and him did was trying to say that they are hardcore feminists and that they're not going to stop being hardcore feminists, even though they've both been in this predicament. They tried to make it political to help them with their defense, and then the Christian apologists and others came running. Why? Because David Silverman and McRae both, what is her political game? She wants to shame atheists. She hates them. And you'd say, why is she defending an atheist? Because McRae and Silverman are two atheists who argue against furthering atheism in being recognized as a group of people, not as a religion, but as a group of people, so that they can get tax breaks when they get together to do certain things and debate and stuff, or when they can get like part of a census and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever they're arguing for, they the firebrand atheists, Silverman and McRae and them are people that argue against that. That's why the Christian apologists run to defend them, just so you know. I defend people who are mistreated. That's what I do. So why is it that you've shut your mind to everything that's happened to Katie Joy and her husband and her child? Why is no one willing to stand up and just say, okay, fine, we'll just leave Katie out of the situation. Her child shouldn't be brought into it. And there's only one group, one person doing that, the person with the restraining order and the groups that he runs out on Facebook and other places. No, you don't. If that were the case, you wouldn't agree with the man that has harassed and attempted to intimidate so many women. Well, women aren't his only victims. Anyone that disagrees with him is victimized. Apparently, a judge thought so as well. You are disgraceful for your part. And then this person comes back saying, yawn, again, accusations and false witness. I thought he didn't like flat earthers. She's a flatty, just so you know. We have appellate courts since judges are sometimes wrong. If one ruled against Steve, it's likely she or he wasn't exposed to both sides. Well, the judge that ruled in this only judged Steve on his own actions. And therefore, if he does go make a defense, and I verified this, he's not allowed to bring up something Katie did. Why? The judge ruled that no matter what Katie did, it doesn't excuse his behavior and what he's done. And that's why the judge escalated it to the Protection Act, the Violence Against Women Protection Act, which doesn't happen with all restraining orders, obviously. Don't worry, SJ. I would suggest not to waste time with these trolls. Who are the real trolls, though? Who are the real trolls, Golden Unicorn? Golden Unicorn, I'll have a clip for you very soon where Golden Unicorn argues and agrees with some more extreme thought processes from Cheshire. It's a really good clip. It's sad when the abused become the abuser. Vicious cycle. She's just a troll. These two are just trolls. They are literally attacking ProLib because he was abused as a child. I'm not going to show the tweets. I don't want to put ProLib up here on it and get him involved. Basically, ProLib talked about how he was abused as a child in a very extreme, had very extreme crimes committed against him, the worst crimes as a child. Because he said that a long time ago, when ProLib started to criticize this whole story, they, you know who, Steve and his friends, went and grabbed the fact, grabbed the fact that ProLib had been abused as a child and made this blanket statement that when you get abused as a child, you end up growing up and abusing others. That's what ProLib did with his live stream. I don't know how that makes sense, but I guess it does to them. It's a vicious cycle. And then they don't care that they may be actually harming somebody with their false accusations, from which people may never recover, even after being proved innocent. See, here's the thing. The only thing ProLib's done, the only thing I've done, the only thing every other content creator's done that's weighed in on this is state what happened. We've stated that Katie accused Steve, and Steve then changed his story 100 times, admitted that he knew what Katie's accusation was, then lied about it. All we've done is show the truth and given our opinion. Literal criticism of what we're seeing going on in public. That's what we've done. How do you argue that the other side, hiding in a Facebook troll group, doxing addresses, and I won't name all the millions of other things, but you've seen it. How do you argue that that isn't trolling? Anyway. Can we hand this group off to somebody else and delete him as an admin? Steve McRae, is this group on grounds for deletion? Only if he doesn't want to go to jail. I guess he doesn't. I guess he does, though. Okay, so I've got some clips, and basically I want to show you these because a judge saw these. A judge saw these clips and then issued it under the Violence Protection Against Women Act. So I think it's part of the story. These clips are going to get me demonetized, but you need to see them so that you can make up your mind. These are the things that the other side, like that SJ person, SJ Thompson, and the people like Golden Unicorn, these are the clips they refuse to acknowledge. They'll literally pull up any clip of Katie giving an opinion on Teen Mom or talking about a global situation, and they will warp it into whatever. But they won't acknowledge that these clips exist. And these are the clips that the judge saw to make up the judge's mind. So doesn't it matter that this happened? These clips do matter then, correct? Okay, good. Here it comes. Let's do it. I'm going to play the clips. It's pretty bad, just so you know. I'm going to play the clips here that the judge saw that made up the judge's mind on how to handle this story, okay? All right. Here we go. Just warning everybody ahead of time. Have you had enough of a warning? Okay.
But anyways,
let's harass her right now. I want to harass her right now, okay?
I want to harass her right now, okay? They had admittedly talking about Katie.
Penis. Penis.
I'm so offended. You didn't ask my consent.
Now, he's mocking Katie. Even though Katie, I just don't understand it. Shouldn't he be stopping David? Shouldn't he be saying to David, this isn't cool, David. Don't do this. You know, this is like beyond criticism. It's messed up. We're going to end up having restraining orders put against us if you do this, dude. He doesn't even say a word.
Penis.
But you know what? You have my consent for everything.
No, but I'm saying it to her.
Steve says you have my consent, trying to make it seem like, because he knows David's saying it to Katie, so he's trying to give him an out. Oh, you didn't have my consent, but I don't care. Ha ha. And David says, no, I'm saying this directly to Katie.
And I didn't give her my consent.
Oh.
So she watched
And I didn't give her my consent, so she watching it.
this video. Now I've assaulted her.
Now that she's watched this video, I've assaulted her. Started it with I want to assault her, ends it with I've assaulted her.
Oh, now she's gonna send you a cease and desist. And
Yeah.
No, she filed a restraining order, and the judge granted the restraining order, and then the judge escalated it to the protections, the Protection Against Violence Against Women Act.
Quote, she's
I
trying to get a restraining order for me.
Arrest her again.
She did get it. She got it. You got served with it. You won't tell anybody that. Literally, you'll tell them you got legal papers.
Because I call out her
You take every filing from Kyle Curtis and put it through a microscope on your show, but you refuse in your secret Facebook group to even tell them what it is.
Bullshit. But anyways,
So let's harass her right now. I want to harass her right now, okay?
But anyways,
so let's harass her right now. I want to harass her right now, okay? Penis. Penis.
I'm so offended. You didn't ask my consent.
Penis.
But you know what? You have my consent for everything.
No, but I'm saying it to her, and I didn't give her my consent.
Oh.
So if she watches this video, now I've assaulted her.
Okay, so the judge seeing this probably affected the judge's decision on how to handle it. Well, the judge saw it. The lawyers and the judge saw it. They all had to sit down and watch this stuff. You ready for the next one? Because it's even worse. Because it's him doing it. Now this is way back in December, I believe. Maybe it was November. Might have been. It was around that time. Okay? This is him and the Shills. They changed their name, by the way. They rebranded their channel, by the way. Shocking development, right?
Panel.
So the video starts by showing what he said, right? Basically acknowledges, proving that he does know the specifics, the exact specifics of Katie Joy's accusation. You've seen this, but since the judge used these clips to make up the judge's mind, maybe you should look at it real quick. Because I bet some of you haven't seen it.
I'm pretty sure I was the newest person on the panel.
I haven't been on before either.
Yeah, I guess so. But there's only so many panels for them to go around, though. I mean, just.
Well, yeah.
Now, I've been accused of doing something bad to dead Kennedys in space by showing this on the Rockalot. I don't know how. I don't know why he cares. He's proud of his show. He's proud of the way he thinks. He's proud of how he is. He won't say it on his own channel, but he'll definitely try to use it as, ammunition against me, right? Just saying.
We needed somebody who wasn't going to be doing flat earth shit.
Yeah. And you promised the entire panel hand jobs if you got on, too. So there was that.
Now, they say by me playing this clip, I'm kink shaming them. I'm not. I am making fun of them for being ducks, is how I'll say it. Quack, quack. What I did on the Rockalot, and I'll still do that. But the reason I'm playing it is because they purposely are saying very graphic sexual things. This is on purpose before bringing up Katie Joy. Then they say this about Katie Joy. The judge saw this whole clip.
I remember that. I remember the specific details of that.
Tell you, I just figured look, as long as it's dark, I just figured she can get it all the way at one time and everybody collect it simultaneously. Yeah.
You can tell by the look on his face that he's angry. He's not joking. He's mad. And then the reason for saying all this graphic sex stuff comes out right here.
Let's see
here. Maybe we can just loan out the responsibility here, and we'll turn off the lights and play a game of Who's in My Mouth.
Dead Duckities in Space Bro, can you please let the adults watch a clip? Oh, that's right. I can't say that because that was my exact joke that I somehow abused you by making that joke, Dead Duckities. Can you just let the adults talk? Thanks.
I love it.
Fucking SJW ass punk.
We're going to play the game. Whose penis is this? I said penis again, but again. Okay, so here, not only does he admit that he knows the accusation, she didn't say that he said the word. By the way, he told old Silverman that the accusation was that he said the word penis, so he sexually harassed her. That's not her accusation. Though you admit to the accusation here way back then. Again, I'm saying it live. I'm not saying it pre-show.
You're not talking about it pre-show. You spoke about the size of it and then made an advance to her. You can go ahead, tell people whatever you want, okay? But we've got your tweets. We got your acknowledgement of her accusation. We've got your response to it in many clips. These ones being seen by the judge, though, I feel are the best ones to show.
I'm going to try to avoid ever saying the word penis before a show, just so somebody can say, Steve said the word penis. Why looking at me in the camera? Oh, wait. You didn't just say it. You now acknowledge that you acknowledged her accusation. You mentioned the size of it and said the word while mentioning the size of it, speaking of your prowess with it in a proposition to her that made her, since she's married, uncomfortable, but also because even if she wasn't married, she wouldn't be comfortable with it, according to her. So at least we can establish the claim. We can see what she said. We can hear how he's acted and the things he said in response. And you can also see the clips that the judge, some of the clips, because it was a lot. There's an enormous amount of evidence there. So this is being brought up for a reason. If he has 20 days, according to the paperwork and according to what I've been told, 20 days to request a hearing. And if he does, he has to go present himself there and speak to why he did this. Speak to why this evidence, what this is, what he's doing. Because they know, and that's what made them issue it, right? So, you get me? And that's why the only defense, he can't show up and say, Katie did this, so I did this. That's what the judge is saying. No, you have to come literally explain this in a way where I'm not going to keep that order in place. And I don't think there is an explanation, right?
Oh, wait, and you have to be on the screen right now. There you go, Dick's on the screen. Stop talking for a second. Wait, Dick, there you go. Now I'm looking at you. God damn it, Chess, shut up for a second. Dick.
No,
Dick.
I'm
Give me Dick. Give me Dick. There you go. I'm looking at you, Dick. Penis.
Oh, okay. That was too funny.
So let me just say this. I think that it doesn't matter that it was him that said this. It doesn't matter that he said it to her. I think that any person who came on to somebody else and then this isn't the only time he's done this. I just showed you twice that it happened. He did it many times, mocked her, put her down, and did other things because she told people what happened. And only because he made such a big deal out of it, she responded and talked about it. What did she say back in November or something, or maybe it was December or January. I don't remember when, but it might have been January because he uploaded her apology and got a strike for it. He admitted that he violated TOS in uploading it, right? Okay. My point is, it doesn't matter who said it. I think it matters that you take the people out of the situation. It's still scummy. It's still messed up. It's still childish. It's still a million different things in respect of why it's happening. And again, why not back when she told her friends, hey, I'm uncomfortable that Steve came on to me and stated these things, so therefore I won't go around him. Why aren't you just like, hey, you feel that way, fine, but I'm going to tell my audience she took it the wrong way. That's not what I did. Whatever your excuse is, move on. What I've done is to go to show that this entire campaign has been against Katie over that event. And I showed that by every video that's done, he brings up this, the SH claim, the sexual harassment, the SH claim. And in the comments section, in the video itself, on Twitter afterwards, demands an apology for her accusing him. And again, he handled it all wrong. He could have just said, you were wrong. He could have said, you took it the wrong way. Why act like it's an accusation when it's her opinion and you made her uncomfortable and she even felt like it was SH? It's her opinion. Give yours. Opinions are sacred, I thought. Right? Because she didn't accuse him. She didn't walk into a police station. She didn't say things to damage his reputation. She reacted to something he said in conversations on Twitter to her friends, and it got turned into this massive thing that's led up to what happened today. The literal end of the story, because now this order that's out there says you can't talk about her anymore. You can't talk about her in the troll group. You can't talk about her on Twitter. You can't talk about her on YouTube. You can't talk about her in public. You shouldn't even be talking about her in private, but I don't think they can stop him from doing that, right? Essentially, he can't talk about her to anyone. Also, that's called directly. Directly addressing her in public on the social media networks, on YouTube, other places, that's direct. But he also can't indirectly. He can't address people that she addresses. He can't intimidate people that she is affiliated with, because that's a common tactic of people who are doing these things because of an SH claim, and the law recognizes that. They say, look, we know that the first thing people do when they can't talk about or to the person that accused them is to go and find people close to that person and do it to them. And I assume that one factor in this story is the fact that he's already attacked people, everybody really close to her, from her kid to her husband to her neighbors. That's all fact. It's all true. It's not something that Katie brought up. That's something that he and his little group took care of. And to go a step further with it, also showing that pattern happened, I do think that it made an impact on why they made the judge, or, you know, the law made their decision where they did. Though, here's the end of the clip, so you can't say I'm cherry picking it.
I'd like to point out. I can't. Never mind.
With this.
You're done. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do
It's
it.
gone.
It's done. All right.
It just seems so cringy and fake. It doesn't even seem like a real joke. It seems like this was all said to take a dig at Katie Joy, and that the people that you keep around you don't have a backbone enough to actually criticize you for doing this. The weird thing is, if you do it to one of their friends, if you were to do it to them or one of their friends, even criticize them, let alone anything else, they cry victim when you criticize them. They make themselves a victim when you criticize them. So factually, they would do it if you did anything else to them. So my point is it okay that this happened because of that? Or should it have just been let go? Well, that doesn't matter, because the law, it's only concerned with a few things. It's concerned in this scenario with, is he going to continue targeting her and her family, which he's had a pattern of doing for an entire year now. On the anniversary of it is a year now. As of yesterday, 1 year anniversary of him doing this to Katie over that. How does anybody do that for a year? It's crazy town. Anyway, though, and the law cares that there is no more. Let's just look it up. Let's just look at what the law says really fast and just do a quick thing so that you have a little bit of explanation on that side of it. All right. So here is like a little thing about this. The Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, requires states, tribes, and territories to give full faith and credit to protection orders issued by other jurisdictions. So essentially that is saying that it takes something that could be handled on the state level and increases it to the federal level. Full faith and credit means jurisdictions must honor and enforce criminal and civil protection orders issued in other states, tribes, and territories. This is the Protecting Victims of Domestic Violence Act, or the VAWA, Violence Against Women Act. The statute requires the issuing order have personal and subject matter jurisdiction. The respondent have reasonable notice and an opportunity to be heard sufficient to protection due process. The VAWA of 2005, effectively January 5th of 06, amendment, the full faith and credit provision to clarify that It applies to territories. The statute now clearly states the law enforcement personnel and the court must enforce protection orders issued in other jurisdictions. The full faith and credit provision provides a protection order that is otherwise consistent with the requirement be given full faith and credit even if the enforcing jurisdiction requires the filing or registration of the order. I dropped my mouse. So basically, you know, the reason that it is very important that it was given this designation, that it's almost like an upgrade of an order. It is a factual thing that this order went through. It is a factual thing that it is now not just a restraining order, but a restraining order with the classification of the Violence Against Women Act or Violence Against Women Protection Act. So that the fact that they're in different states does not matter. This shocked some of the lawyers that have looked at this. Some people that have a legal training or legal background were very confused at first until maybe they looked this up and actually thought about it. But it seems like this was added due to the fact that people could just leave a state or they could just harass somebody between states with the internet, with the phone, or maybe by driving there and back. I don't know. Either way, though, this says you don't even have to go through all those loopholes or all that long process of having your state contact the other state and then take the time to do this A, B, C, D, and E in order to enforce this restraining order. And that should say something to us. It should say something about the situation to any critical thinker or smart person out there. And it should say something when it comes to what has transpired. Because there's still a group of people who will claim that nothing is going on here and that it should be ignored, that somebody's being set up, I don't know by who. These people typically debunk conspiracy theories for money on the internet. People like Red's Rhetoric and Steve and others. But ironically, those people who debunk the crazy conspiracy theorists are the ones who claim that Steve is being set up by Katie and use their channels as a weapon to attack her and to continue this. When those clips were generated, the first clip, or the clip that didn't involve David Silverman, that was before the DFOTY Awards, where Red's Rhetoric put Katie as a member on the DFOTY Awards for 2019. And one of the reasons that he first got mad at me and started coming at me and trying to make videos about how I've lost my credibility and this and that is solely because I sent him the evidence that Katie Joy had those emails and screenshots and other things fabricated and against her. That mattered because the DFOTY Awards used the screenshots, the false strike, and those points alone to try to drive his audience against Katie and get them to vote for her. So it was fake. He knew it beforehand. He knew it. I was on the panel, and he knew because I sent it to him before they did their voting and before they did their DFOTY. Did they take Katie off the panel after I sent them the evidence that, one, that email is fake, two, the screenshots were fake, and three, the other things they were using against Katie were fake and contrived? Did he stop it? Did he take her off the panel after I did it? No, he started attacking me. They used DFOTY to attack me that year. The other YouTubers that helped him also, because I sent them the evidence too, so that they could get through to Reds. Uni's not attacking you or DFOTY. He's trying to say you are attacking somebody with DFOTY over fake stuff. Now it's accepted that those things are fake. But that DFOTY, go watch it. Go watch any of the DFOTYs for 2019, and you tell me, what were they using against Katie Joy? Then ask yourself the stuff about Kyle Curtis. In all reality, they weaponized DFOTY to fit Steve's agenda, and they weaponized it also to fit the agenda of getting Non Sequitur show back from Kyle. But what will this restraining order, this legal action, and the fact that Steve now provably is done this and that it's acknowledged by the law and the federal government with the Violence Against Women Protection Act designation, what does that say about the fact that he's trying to get Non Sequitur from Kyle? Is it going to help Kyle's court case, or is it going to help Steve? Let's talk about it for a second before we move on.
Patreon.
Excellent.
Patreon.
Now, as you know, there is another lawsuit going on. It is Steve McRae versus Kyle Curtis. Ironically, I was asked by Steve McRae to cover the loss or the non sequitur situation many times, and I was asked by him to cover the Katie Joy situation many times. In fact, if the audience might help me, do any of you who watched the videos back then, do you remember the things that Steve said about my videos, my reporting, my research, and my channel when it went toward how I handle a story and how good or bad I am, whatever you remember him saying back in the beginning about how I handle these things? And I told him I would make a video summation that got to the bottom of these two stories, that got to the truth, and that put out like a full thing on it. I've had to change my mind several times throughout this, but I have kept my word, and you can expect now the full end period of the Katie Joy versus Steve McRae documentary versus mode to come out soon. And then after that, once the non sequitur lawsuit is resolved, you can expect that to come out right after that lawsuit ends. But will this have an effect on Steve's lawsuit? Some of you who support Steve and refuse to open your eyes to any of the evidence out there will say, Steve's already won. There's nothing that Kyle can do. And because Steve told you, not because he proved anything, Steve now should be the rightful owner of the channel, and Kyle's going to go to jail very soon because he didn't hand it over. Well, why is the judge wanting to hear from Kyle, have Kyle present his case? Well, I can announce to you right now that Kyle has a lawyer this time for real, and that he is fighting against this. What he's told me, all I can say is he has a lawyer, one, and he's going to use the lawyer to respond to the non sequitur case. But he's also going to pursue the same legal avenues that Katie pursued. So one part of this story tonight is a quick discussion so that maybe in the future the communities can talk about it. Maybe people will go re-look at that evidence like I've requested them to. Maybe you'll open your mind to the fact that this all was a lie, not just certain parts of it. It all was a fabrication because people didn't want to lose certain things that they had gained, like a YouTube channel with a big audience watching, one that they have a hard time producing on their own, right? Anyway, though, what's going to happen when Kyle Curtis, as he's been requested, walks into the non sequitur show trial and slams down the order that's been given to Katie? And what's going to happen if Kyle, before he gets in there, manages to get his own restraining order to go through? Should he be able to? Will it happen? Well, I think it will, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if it'll happen before he goes in. I think he'll get a restraining order regardless of what happens with anything else, because the stuff that he said to Katie in the manner of which he attacked her is exactly the same as the manner he attacked Kyle Curtis. The way he handled the Katie story and the things he created about her is the exact same thing he did with Kyle. Remember, he was attacked over his suit. He was attacked because Kyle, admittedly, by both parties, did 95% of all the work. And that is actually questionable whether he did 99% or not. I guess 5% is sitting there. So, but moreover, though, I think Kyle will be given his restraining order also because a large portion of the attacks centered on Kyle being gay for some reason. And I don't really understand why. It wasn't comedic. It wasn't done to be funny. So it's not like they could use the whole free speech, I was joking thing. They were basically just insulting the guy, putting him down, and making fun of him for his sexuality. I think in the same way Katie going in and showing these clips got the restraining order, Kyle will be successful in getting one also if he takes the video clips of Reds and Steve doing that to Kyle, and the other evidence that's out there, like the hundreds upon hundreds of messages that I've witnessed of the harassment against Kyle Curtis, and the other things that were out there that were harassing Kyle after the non-sec breakup. Not things that criticized him, not things that gave their opinion, literally just the stuff that, said really graphic, nasty stuff to the guy. Combined with the live streams, I think if he files, just being real with you, he'll probably get the same thing. But all I can tell you is what Kyle told me, This is just Kyle's words. It's not like with the Katie situation, reporting a literal restraining order that's been served to Steve. This, talking about Kyle, is me telling you what Kyle told me, that he is getting a restraining order, that he is suing Steve for defamation, and that he's going to recoup not only the money that he lost because of what Steve did, but he's going to recoup the, he's going to come out with the channel in hand and archive it because of his respect for the audience he had and what they did on the show. But that is what that's from Kyle, and I'm sure Kyle will update us further or go in the future. Maybe he'll do his own video on non-sec. Maybe he'll do something different. I don't know. Though the question still remains, what now will happen when Kyle shows the judge in the non-sequitur case what they did to Kyle and presents a literal restraining order given under the Violence Against Women's Protection Act against for Katie, with the exact tactics, the exact type of thing done, and in the same way and manner? I think it'll have an effect. That's just me brainstorming. Of course, I would need to read a little more on it. I would need to see how these restraining orders differ when it's a gay man compared to a straight woman, and whatever other things matter in the story. But in the end, I do think, though, Kyle Curtis, before today, had a good chance of getting this whole thing thrown out and started over due to the fact that he wasn't served properly. To be honest, I think Steve's going to push for that after today. I think he'll push for the entire thing being thrown out instead of getting that judgment that he wanted. Either way, let's move on. So let's hit some of these super chats before I go on. Remember, the after show is going to be on the YouTube channel Rockalot, ROCKALOT. It's the only parking lot that's actually comfortable to sit in with your friends. It's a YouTube channel. Go subscribe, join it, hang out over there, have a good time. Let's see what we got here. Leroy says, Uni fam, thank you. Wife gone... WGW, Wife Gone Wild. You just got a nickname. Thanks for joining, Leroy. Thank you again for the 2 stickers. Renee, thanks for joining. Leroy again and again and again and again. Setting a record with Moab, heart emoji, popcorn emoji, and hashtag Uni was right. Why, thank you. Nana with the game over emoji. Christina, Uni was right again. Justice for Katie. Flying Monkey, amazing is all I can say. Leroy, hashtag justice for Katie. Very dusted, big glass of SM STFU. Very clever. Nate Brody, when you get a court order, it becomes serious. Nate, I agree. And Nate is coming on the Rockalot channel tomorrow or the next day. When he's available, he's going to be coming on the Rockalot after show channel. I'll schedule it. I'll put it up. That way, you guys know about it so that we can actually speak to a lawyer and not get any legal opinion, but just get a personal opinion from a lawyer who has filed many restraining orders, knows about restraining orders, and Nate just needed a little time to look up the Violence Against Women Protection Act, how it affects restraining orders, what it does when it's combined with one, so that he can come in and be ready to talk to us. So subscribe to Nate Brody, support Nate Brody, and keep an eye out for Nate coming on the Rockalot channel, maybe even UNIRock 2 when he finally gets time to come. We might just come back here and do it in a day or two. I think it'd be a great show. So I'll let Nate make up his mind there. But Suge says, I bet Steve is having his attorney look into the, quote, Trolling Against Boomers Act. What? What do you mean that's not a thing? Arg! Pulls out more hair. Very clever, and I enjoy that super chat greatly. Angry Roach, the judge is a troll and a Steve hater. Now the dishonorable judge is on the block list as well. That's a good point, Angry Roach. That judge is on that block list. It's a guarantee. Leroy and Doris, awesome fist bump sticker, and that's a mic drop sticker. Dang, it's awesome. Crystal, thanks for joining. Leroy, Golden Unicorn is the worst unicorn ever. I have to agree. I definitely have to agree. When you see this clip that's coming up, you will agree too. Yuhan, I should probably join this channel. Here's the Red Bull Fund. Well, dude, hey, I appreciate you. Remember, joining Rockalot is joining the gaming channel, even though we do have our after show there. Joining UNIRock 2 is joining our show, just so you know. And Chopper Lily, you're an honorable man. Thanks for not giving up when things got tough. Well, Chopper Lily, I'm just a normal dude. I'm a dickhead sometimes. I'm nice sometimes. But, you know, Katie, I actually want to respond to this comment for just a second. When I looked into this, I owed it to Katie to go to my channel immediately and tell you what I discovered in the evidence she gave me, and I did it. I didn't do what these other guys did. I didn't do it to be honorable or something. I did it because I had criticized Katie, and I didn't want my channel to have that criticism against Katie and you guys be affected by the criticism that I gave, and then not come here and tell you I was wrong, that I didn't do enough work to be able to know the, you know, what was really going on. And you know, I know Katie wouldn't talk to me in the beginning, but that's not an excuse in these stories. There should have been something that I found that should have tipped me off back then. And then I ended up finding out what that was. I looked and saw that Dragnaut, Nate Brody, Heretic, and other people had been documenting where Steve McRae was lying about non-sequitur. Drag did that in a great video. And then also Nate and Heretic were documenting other lies that he had told that impact these stories greatly. When you find out the length someone's willing to go, you almost don't believe it. That's the thing. A lot of people aren't cult members of the Steve cult. They were just people that were being lied to, so they believed it and didn't spend a lot of time digging, because his channel only had 8,000 subs when I found it, and it only really has 8,000 now with all the bots. So, okay, I shouldn't go there right now. Though, you know what I'm saying? Nobody cared enough to really dig in and go watch. I didn't even watch his actual live streams, let alone those long drawn out other things out there to find those clips, and I should have. So I owed it to her. Anyone that I misreport something on, I owe coming back to the channel and letting someone know when I change my mind on a story that I put out, and I owe it to you to correct the story if I make a mistake. I'm a human being. My channel's not going to be perfect. So often people will try to expose a creator for being wrong. Well, you got to give them an opportunity first, in my opinion, and I try that. I try to reach out to any creator that has something happen like that, right? Hell, I even tried to reach out to Jordan Sather when I started to debunk him back in the day to see if he just hadn't seen the evidence that I had that proved him wrong. But my point is, the whole thing of exposing a creator, I think it's more powerful to expose a creator for purposely ignoring evidence and continuing to side with somebody. That's probably more important than somebody not seeing some evidence and therefore not, you know, adjusting their perspective, which as long as a YouTuber does that, I'm cool. If somebody makes a mistake, of course, these YouTube channels are just an extension of us, so you got to give him that opportunity. I gave it to Steve. I gave it to Katie. She accepted it, you know, on the things that she was wrong about. Steve wasn't, and that's why we're in this mess. Anyway, let's keep going. Nikki with the game over hippo emoji, which has equal meaning in this story. Bunny hanging with the headbangers, you know it. Nadia says thank you with the sticker, and you are too kind, Nadia. Thank you. Leroy with the thumbs up, my guy. Yuhan, hashtag $500 suit, still cracks me up. Yeah, it didn't even make him look bad. I thought it was an ironic joke back then. It wasn't, but still. Leroy, Kyle makes it look like a $500 suit. Pigs in Space, thank you, KJP, for staying strong. A great thing was accomplished. And Trio Monkey, Busy needs to get better stuff. It leaving streaks on my stomach. Not a huge deal, so don't freak out. Well, if you guys don't start partying so hard, Trio, he's going to have a bad effect on you. I tell people not to hang out with Busy. All the time I tell people. He's just a really bad influence on people. Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know about his antics. I got a full video coming out. You're all going to be sad. You're going to be sad. Busy had some stuff happen, but you'll find out about that later. And then we've got Conrad just dropped one, but I can't see it right now. So let me see if I can see what it says here. Well, it hasn't popped up yet. There it is. This is Uni's redemption arc. Well done. Well, no, I mean, I did that a long time ago. I came in and I changed my mind on the story. I came back and gave people I did it when it happened, you know? Hey, thank you, A Real Housewife. I appreciate you. Yeah, back when I found out the truth about this story, I started telling people, and yeah, that you saw the backlash. But look at the backlash now. Look at the way it is now. What does that, by the way? What takes a story and one person can be showing you one thing and somebody can be showing you something else? And in the beginning, people will believe it and it'll create this huge thing, right? Like it did against Katie. What changed that? And why now is it exactly the opposite? Why did Steve get what he deserved instead of Katie getting something? Because the evidence. Steve had photoshopped emails, photoshopped screenshots, and used them even after people proved that they were photoshopped. Katie, on the other hand, had evidence come out that vindicated her with his own words and with his own recordings and his own live streams. And we saw that we were being literally lied to, given fake evidence to try to get us to do someone else's dirty work, because you don't need fake evidence if you have what's called what is it? Oh, that's right, a database of real evidence, right?
Excellent.
All right, we've got live reactions coming in from Twitter about this whole situation that we're going to look at. We've got another clip to see. Then we're going to go to the after show on the Rockalot YouTube channel, ROCKALOT. If mods, if you won't mind sharing the link to the Rockalot stream, I've already scheduled it to make your job a lot easier. The link to the stream, the after show stream is scheduled. It's there. You can jump in there as soon as this is over. If you want to talk to me, open chat on Rockalot. I'll disable member only mode on Rockalot when we get there. If you want to ask any questions and you're not a member, there will be an open chat on the Rockalot. MD, you guys are too nice to me. I like punching busy. That must make me bad. It must make me bad. Anyway, though, here we go. Let's get this done. Okay, so this screenshot, of course, shows you that he still will not leave that group. He's going to stay in it. He's an admin, and right underneath his name is the account that doxed Katie on Twitter 2 days ago, purposely, and then tweeted under the dox, "Oops, did I just dox Katie? Ha 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 ha." That's this one, and there he is. Now, there's probably an issue when you've got to name your unlisted, unsearchable, hidden, private, invite-only group. There's probably an issue when you got to name that group not a troll group. In fact, if I were an admin, I would change the name from Without a Freaking Clue to With a Restraining Order. Personally. That's me, though. I'm a weird guy. I'm weird as hell. Update. I have received legal paperwork about an hour ago that is absolutely ridiculous. I have a meeting with my lawyer tomorrow. Going to cost a lot of money to go do that, though. You're going to have to do a fundraiser, aren't you? You're going to have to do a fundraiser. Oh, the things I could say about that. Amazing how many people still believed her with no evidence. I would have asked for some ages ago myself if I told someone I was filing against them. I will keep people posted. It's disgusting. It's disgusting because he's still telling people to ask Katie for evidence. This is enough. Katie, I hope you gave this to your lawyer like 2 seconds ago, 10 minutes ago. When was this? About 10 minutes before 10. So about 50 minutes ago. You have a lawyer? Or are you lying about having a lawyer? Are you lying about having a lawyer, dude? Because honestly, you trolled Kyle about lying about having a lawyer for a long time. This is insane. Why is your lawyer not like reaching through the internet and ripping that damn post right off of it? Why isn't he telling you to delete this? What are you doing? Bro, seriously. Like, for a second, close your eyes, Steve, and remember your ex-friend, UNIRock. That's what you called me, a friend. Remember when you were my friend. And listen to me say this sentence, okay? Because I'm still trying to help you even after all this. You're going to get locked up if you keep posting this stuff, dude. Stop. Now, you know I talk to you like that often before I criticized you. So, again, it's almost mind-boggling. Amazing how many people still believe her. You're not allowed by the law to say this. Why? Are you trying to challenge it? Is that what you're doing? Are you trying to challenge her? Are you trying to challenge the judge? Not Katie. It's not Katie anymore. Katie handed it off to a lawyer. That lawyer handed it to a judge. The judge took a gavel and said, I'll defend Katie now. You're not challenging her, Katie, anymore. This is challenging the judge, dude. And why am I even saying this? Why am I giving him good legal advice? I shouldn't be. Hell, remember though, UNIRock is dumb as a box of UNIRocks. He can't even tie his shoes without help from his girlfriend, right? All these things were actually said about me by him. You don't care if you go to freaking jail. Holy shit, kabibble. You can't keep people posted about it. Oh, this is the troll group. Oh, you don't think that the judge is in the troll group? Well, the law is, I mean. They are. You think I'm bluffing, don't you? Holy shit. I'm almost speechless just overseeing that. Because seriously, you type it in, just the normal, regular restraining order, not even elevated to the federal level like this one was. It was elevated to the federal level. It's provable, okay? A normal restraining order would be violated by what he just posted because this is inciting people to ask Katie for evidence, dude. You already know also that Katie never said that this conversation was recorded, and this is the scummiest thing to do. It's a tactic. It is a tactic, and you know it. To get the people that are brainwashed by you to go bug her for evidence and to go complain on social media. Katie doesn't even have evidence of what she shouldn't have it. If she's telling the truth, she shouldn't have it. If she's lying, she shouldn't have it because nobody said that it was recorded ever. That's never been a claim. So what are you saying? That unless a crime or unless something is recorded that it didn't happen? Is because literally your troll group says stuff like that all the time. I showed it earlier. If there's not a screenshot of the paperwork, then it didn't happen. right before you posted that it happened. I'm sorry to say it, dude. The most basic philosophical knowledge says it doesn't matter if it was recorded or not. Shit. I don't care. Again, do I care what happened? Does it matter here? Because we'll never know. The only two people that know are you and her. We know some facts. Let me do some philosophical breakdowns really quick. The fact that she has made the claim, that's her side. So there's our side. There's the side. Hold on, let me go over to my damn actual. You can't see my hands, and I'm going to be using my hands for a moment. This is her side. She claimed that this happened. Got me? There we go. I'm not going to repeat the claim. Okay, fine, I will. For the sake of this stream, she claims that when Kyle walked away, or before Kyle joined, at a time when Kyle wasn't there, Bull wasn't there, maybe Bull got there late, I don't know, only you and her would. But at a time when it was you and her, before a show, you brought up your pay and talked about your sexual prowess, and then propositioned her, and it made her uncomfortable. And yes, she felt like she was a target of SH. Because you knew she was married, and you knew that she's much younger than you and wouldn't want to be with you regardless if she was married. So, she said that. That's her claim. That is it. Your claim was once that it happened on Twitter, but then in the same stream you admitted that it happened in a pre-show. Then you tried to conflate the two things together. This is all on Rockalot. I've actually showed it on UNIRock too also, so I don't want to hear any shit. Go watch my video about this a week or two ago. Go watch the stream. Read the title, watch the stream. You got your evidence. Anyway, you say that it happened on Twitter, but then you admitted that it happened in a pre-call. Then you put out a blog post that said you had no idea what the claim was, that one time on Twitter this happened, trying to obfuscate and lie, so because you've already admitted at that point you knew the claim. Then you did the 2 video clips I played where you literally repeat the actual claim as she stated it, but you do it in a really creepy way. So you want evidence? Is that what kind of evidence? Why won't you elaborate on the type of evidence you're talking about? Because you won't do that either. Wouldn't you? What evidence do you expect anyone to produce? How about you prove it? So I could do the same thing to you that you're doing to her. Okay, Steve, you want us to believe that Katie, how amazing how many people believe her with no evidence. We don't, honestly, it's not even about that. The only reason people believe her is because of how many times you lied about this. And then people get this thought in their head, well, if you're going to lie about it, then obviously you wouldn't do that if this didn't happen. And that's the only thing that leads people logically to think that something happened. But let's just throw it off the table. Who cares? We know her claim and we know your claim. You didn't SH her, but you did admit that you said it to her. You admit that you talked about it. So I know later on you said you didn't, and you admitted again that you did, and you admitted again that you didn't. And I don't know where you've settled because I don't track it that much. But I'm sorry, dude. Like, you telling people I would have asked her for evidence by now is inciting these ding-dongs that have her address. How do you know now that they have her address? Because you didn't even moderate her address from the group. Your other administrator right here, this administrator literally shared her address on Twitter 2 days ago. How do you know these psycho ding-dongs aren't going to go to her address and ask for evidence? And they're crazy, so how do you know they're not going to do something to her? This is why the judge got involved. They're trying to literally protect Katie with the Violence Against Women Protection Act. In this case, I'm baffled. I'm sorry. This is too much, dude. Carla says, God, she makes my blood boil. I hope you get whatever is taken care of and then sue her ass when you can. What? What? How do you sue her? What did she do? You know, that database of evidence would be really nice to have so that we could judge how crazy you guys are, but you won't give us the database of evidence. Jeez Louise, Papa Jesus is too stupid. Okay, so then Tyler says, weird how legal paperwork is only ever ridiculous when he doesn't like it. It doesn't matter if it's properly served, properly went through the courts, and properly cites legal precedent and state laws. The brilliant legal scholar, Steve McRae, I like that. I'm going to start calling him that, who took a semester of identifying ridiculous legal paperwork in between his semester of, what does that say? Of MLA formatting and his semester of ACCT 1 that skipped all the actual balance sheet accounting and went straight to, quote, how to take a draw on your YouTube business, end quote, has declared the paperwork ridiculous. It's not a Bogart. You're not a wizard, Boomy. You harassed a woman online for an entire year. After she begged you to stop, you brought her kid into it, you blank. Welcome to the California legal system. Should have taken a semester on how crazy is my state legal system before harassing anyone. Damn. Damn, Tyler. Tyler, you literally just... it stinged to read that, Tyler. Good lordy lordy. What else we got? Oh, well, we got a literal direct response here. Statement. Wait a minute. Why are you posting this in the troll group? This troll group is about Katie Joy. It's named after Katie Joy. Okay? Literally in the about section, it mentions Katie Joy. You literally had to put not a troll group. She's been doxxed in the group. She's been threatened in the group. She's had her son has been railed in that group for months. Her husband also. And you post in that group statement, legal action has been taken against me in the form of an unsubstantiated restraining order. Is that true? Is he lying here? Can somebody type me? Hold on, I'm grabbing my live chat because this is too much. Tell me, peeps, isn't that lying? Isn't it substantiated? Doesn't that make people think that it's not been served by a judge? Because all the people in the troll group, they don't watch us. They don't check YouTube. They don't check Twitter. They literally just listen to what he says and then sit around going, Steve, oh. They're going to hate me after this. They already do. It's okay. They already hate me, so who cares? Isn't that lying, saying it's unsubstantiated? Did he just call the judge a ding-dong? I think so. Yeah. I hope the judge reads this. Well, I know the judge is reading all of this because... yeah, the lawyers are actually in the group now watching all of this as it happens. It's so bad. He thinks the issue is the validity of the claim he uses to harass her, not the fact of the harassment itself. Exactly. And the judge in the restraining order, if he does want to file, he has 20 days to do a hearing where he has to go there and try to prove that these things didn't happen or that they were created in Photoshop or that they're fake. The problem is that he himself broadcasted all of his harassment out on YouTube. He broadcasted it out on Instagram. He broadcasted it on Twitter and Facebook. Other YouTubers have been covering this for so long that all of it's recorded. He can't make the claim that it's photoshopped or that it's faked. We've all been through it for a year. Well, I've been through it since December with you guys. Other people have been through it for a year. But the only claim he can make, he has to excuse his actions somehow. And the only excuse there is, of course, that it's fake. This can't be fake. This isn't fake. Is he going to try to blame Silverman? Well, it doesn't matter at this point because you're sitting here encouraging Silverman. And then who are you going to blame here when you do it with your own? Are you going to blame dead cuckoodies in space? Who are you going to blame here? Oh, it's too much. Due to legal considerations, I can't discuss our legal recourse at this time. You're not even supposed to be posting there. Your lawyer told you that. You know you're not supposed to even be posting in this group. Also, you're not even supposed to comment on her channel, even with the sock account. You're not even supposed to interact with people that are close to her. Also, you just got done sending people over to ask her for evidence again, which is probably going to land you in jail once the judge sees this. What is the percentage that this is going to get him put away for at least the first violation? You know, the first violation is like it's either 3 to 5 or 10 or something days in jail and $1,000 fine. That's the first violation. Isn't this a violation? I could swear. Dude, I must be losing my mind. Did he? I won't even go there. Let's just get this damn thing over with. And... wow. Wow. This is hot off of the press from the troll group less than 4 minutes ago. Okay, got it. Negative. Thank you. Hot from Facebook 4 minutes ago also. So he says the thing about due to legal considerations, I can't discuss our legal recourse at this time. Elaborate, please. It's called a restraining order. He also violated it already. Scaredy face. Janie says he wants to go to jail. The jail cell. Oh God, I can't read that, Janie. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult the guy right now. He's insulting himself so hard I can't even do it. Somebody trying to restrain Steve. Have they ever met him or talked to him? I don't think it'll be effectual. Rock on, Steve. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Yeah, this isn't going to work. She hasn't got enough on you for this even to make sense. What? 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 It already went through. He got served. The judge approved it. She also escalated it to federal through the Violent Crimes Against Women Protection Act. What in the hell? This is why. This is it. We figured it out. Here we go. I now also can show you why people are this ding-dongy. Ready? Set? Let's do it. Stop, Busy. Busy. I'll let you talk when we get to the after show. I'm not letting you tell a story right now.
Excellent.
This is why people go out and troll Katie. It's why they trolled Kyle. It's why they believed him about non sequitur. It's why they believed him on the 50-50 BS. This is why it all happens. He can't be honest. He can't elaborate on himself. He can't tell people what's going on. He can literally tell you every detail about Kyle or Katie. He will pull anything about the court case, put it on his screen, and read everything 5 times. He'll go on for hours with clickbaiting the non sequitur show when it's not even his show to clickbait. Then he bullshits, he lies, he won't elaborate, he won't give details, and it drives people to assume. They don't have to assume on Kyle because he's going to go through everything of it and turn it all into negative. Same with Katie. Doesn't matter what they said, doesn't matter what they meant. He'll tell you what it says and means to make them the nasty, evil people. But when it comes to himself, this is literally a furthered part of the story about Katie. Instead of just telling people that it is an issued restraining order from a judge, he calls it unsubstantiated, which purposely leads them to believe that it's not something that's went through because they literally state that down here and he doesn't correct them. Installing, yeah, this isn't going to work. She hasn't got enough on you for this to even make sense, but it's already worked. It's already there. This is why they all go around chirping and following him and believing it. They only watch this shit. They go watch other stuff. They don't go watch anyone that criticizes this. They don't see the other side at all. That's called a conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theorist, like a flat earther, does the same thing. They condition their audience to not watch a debunker or to not watch somebody who debunks their specific thing they put out. They call them names. They make them think they're a government shill and that they're going to lie and say anything. Then, when they don't watch the criticism, the only thing they have to go off of is what they see. And instead of telling people, well, it's already gone through, it's already been filed, it's already happened, I am restrained from literally saying anything about her or this case, I shouldn't be posting here, I should be deleting the group or at least passing it off to somebody else and leaving it. None of that. Instead, they get to go and write all this garbage, and he doesn't correct them. But the minute that somebody says anything about what he said to Katie, he will type a Bible, a book, an Encyclopedia Steve Tanica. That was good. Yeah, add that to the joke list. All right, do it. He'll type in Encyclopedia Steve Tanica in a response trying to say, harass Katie, ask her for evidence, even though I know there's no evidence, and it'll just go on forever. And that is why, with the restraining order and the future arrest of Steve now imminent, because I'm telling you people, you don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you right now, this one has already been turned into the lawyers. This has been turned into the lawyers, along with the other thing he did to violate the restraining order. This is mentioning Katie. The other one, maybe he would have got away with it. This one, hell no. I would have asked for evidence ages ago myself if I told someone I was filing against them. I asked you for evidence that you and Kyle had a 50-50 when you filed against Kyle, and you still haven't produced it. You promised us you had it a long time ago, but you still haven't produced the evidence that you had a 50-50 with Kyle, not a shred. So that's not true. But either way, this is the end of the story. The restraining order is only going to, I'm probably going to now do, my next stream is probably going to be like, God only knows. God only knows. This is only going to go downhill. The dumpster fire has gone nuclear. It is only going to get more nuclear, and I don't know what else to say. The last thing I'll do is hit the live chat for a second, and then we're out of here. So if you have anything you want to say to me, tag me, because there's a lot of people. Even though I've got member-only mode and slow mode on, the live chat is popping, dude. Like, you guys are freaking crazy, and I love it. And the emojis, oh, they drive me crazy. I love those emojis. In fact, I'm going to turn on the chat box over here. So anyway, if you've got something for me, make sure you tag me if you want me to read what you have to say. And we're going to head over to the Rockalot channel as soon as I hit the live chat and sum up everything. Busy. No, you did do something wrong. Of course you did something wrong. You forgot. Yes. Oh my God, I'm going to punch you in the bread, dude.
Excellent.
Oh, August. Yes, I read out super chats earlier, and before I end, I'll hit all the other ones. Thank you, Nuke, for sharing the link for me, my dude. Appreciate you. Yes, I'll hit the super chats before I go. Definitely. Yeah, he should ask Warden for an attorney. I think if any of us see him breaking this order, we should call it in to Katie or Uni. It's going to take some jail time for him to finally stop. Well, I would just tag somebody in the chat, volunteer to be the person that they tag you on Twitter, because my Twitter's down. Showed the evidence on the Rockalot channel that a certain fishy person was trying to hack into my Twitter, so I had to disable it. Of course, under Twitter's recommendation. It'll be back up soon, but I'm sure you could tag someone in the chat and let them know and that they can get it in, so... Yeah, true, Navy. Yeah, true. Okay, let's hit these super chats, and then we're going to get out of here. And I'll keep an eye on the chat while I do it. Let me make sure here. Okay. Steve has dishonored himself by his own request. And Katie is the strongest woman I've ever met. Hashtag proud Canis. Hey. Well, I believe you, my friend. I can't imagine what you guys have had to go through, but you guys stepped up to the plate and you stopped somebody who's been terrorizing people on the internet for 4 or 5 years. And the only thing I can do is do like a full documentary on it. But I mean, it's an insane story. It's insane. It's nothing like it. There's nothing like this that's happened on YouTube yet. He managed to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to break YouTube ground and do something new. And he did. But I don't think it was what he planned on doing. And then Bunny's got one, but I can't see the bottom of it. There we go, Bunny. The order needs to jellify. And August said, it's not a request, Steve. It's an order. Exactly, I know. So, that's the end of the super chats. Anyone close to Steve chime in on this yet? I don't think so, no. If they would have, it would be in my current live stream room, so. Last thing I'll say here, if you tuned in late, here's what factually has happened. Katie got a lawyer a week or 2 ago. I've updated you on it as it's happened on the Rockalot and over here. She filed a restraining order on him, and the judge, seeing a few clips, and I'll play the clips as we go out. The judge saw a couple clips along with the rest of the evidence of the secret troll group and the other things that have been said, and not only issued a restraining order, but also not only issued a restraining order, but also elevated the restraining order under the Women's Protection from Violence Act. The Protection from Violence Act for women. I might have mixed it up, but you get me. What that order does is it makes the restraining order not be bound to the state that it was filed in, and instead is enforceable by any law enforcement in the entire United States, even Alaska, even Hawaii, even Texas and Florida and Maine. All over the whole United States, they have jurisdiction on this case to serve or to act on the restraining order being violated. And that's why it's so shocking that he violated it so soon. Like, he must have the worst attorney that exists. Did that dude down in Australia who pays for his attorney get him the cheapest lawyer possible? And if he did, are we sure that guy down there doesn't really not like Steve? Did he do this on purpose? Because the lawyer had to have advised him not to post in that group, not to say anything about her, and because he wouldn't want to violate it. Literally, after he grabbed that paper in his hand from the sheriff, he would have had... He is required by law to not do the things in the paper. That is a thing in that paper. So tomorrow morning or the next day, whenever the lawyer gets to walk in and set it in front of the judge, it's over. And I don't get it. It seems so useless. It's almost like fighting authority to the bitter end, even though that authority didn't do shit. They're just sitting there like, hey, bro, we just want to keep everybody safe. Okay, I'm going to fight you now. Let's go. Sword fight. So the restraining order's there. He's already violated it. God knows what's going to end up happening from it. And keep your eye out on the Rockalot channel for updates, because the next update you get on this channel is the full versus mode from these two. Steve McRae versus Katie Joy Paulson. I did promise Steve I would complete versus mode on this story. I promised Katie I would. And I told Katie I would. I promised Steve I would. But either way, thanks for watching. Heading over to the Rockalot YouTube channel. My mods will be sharing the link. Why, oh why would they file? Why would the judge escalate it? Well, I got 2 clips that sums it all up perfectly. And yes, the judge has seen these clips. Let's go. Let's go.
Was the newest person on the panel.
I haven't been on before either.
Yeah, I guess so. But there's only so many panels for them to go around, though. I mean, just.
Well, yeah, we needed somebody who wasn't going to be doing flatters.
Yeah. And you promised the entire panel hand jobs if you got on, too. So there was that.
I remember that. I remember the specific details of that.
Tell you, collect. I just figure she. Look, as long as it's dark, I just figure she can get it all the way at one time, and everybody collect it simultaneously. Let's see here.
Maybe we can just loan out the responsibility here, and we'll turn off the lights and play a game of Who's in My Mouth.
Let the adults talk. Dead duckities in space. Let the adults talk, please.
I love it.
We're gonna play the game. Whose penis is this? I said penis again, but again, I'm saying it live. I'm not saying it pre-show. I'm gonna try to avoid ever saying the word penis live before a show, just so somebody can say. Steve said the word penis. Why looking at me in the camera? Oh.
Why would you ever avoid saying it in a pre-show again if it never happened, though? And you wonder why people, you know, get mad about you lying.
Wait, and you have to be on the screen right now. There you go, Dick's on the screen. Stop talking for a second. Wait, no. Dick, there you go. Now looking at you. God damn it, Chet.
Of course, I'm having you watch this so that in your mind you can reimagine the judge and the lawyers all watching this before they issued the order. That's the only reason you're watching it right now. So just make sure you're imagining that because it happened.
Shut up for a second. Dick.
No,
Dick.
I'm
Give me
keeping it
Dick.
here.
Give me Dick. There you go. Look at you, Dick. Penis.
Oh, okay. That was too funny.
I would like to point out.
Dick, you're a horrible person, Dick Dawson. You're a horrible person. You suck, dude. You suck, bro.
I can't. Never
Good
mind.
luck with this.
You're done. Yeah, you can't do it.
It's gone.
It's done. All right. Well, anyways, this was a great. Actually, I think this was something that we all needed, and I'm so happy that Super Mommy came second.
And clip number 2. Clip that the judge and the lawyers watched. Number 2, in my opinion, that are the summation of why this all happened. Clip number 2 for anyone that may not have seen it, especially Team Skeptic. Take a look.
But anyways,
let's harass her right now. I want to harass her.
Oh, by the way, this just happened like after Katie got a lawyer. After Katie announced that she was getting a restraining order, this happened.
Let's harass her.
But anyways,
let's harass her right now. I want to harass her right now, okay? Penis.
I'm so offended.
David,
you didn't ask my consent.
Penis.
Just do me a favor. Pretend like that's your wife or it's your boyfriend, it's your partner. Pretend it's your mom. Pretend it's your aunt. Pretend it's someone you love that they're talking about for me, okay? Just do me that favor.
But anyways,
let's harass her right now. I want to harass her right now, okay? Penis.
I'm so offended. David, you didn't ask my consent.
Penis.
But you know what? You have my consent for everything.
No, but I'm saying it to her, and I didn't give her my consent.
Oh.
So if she watches this video, now I've assaulted her. No, but I'm saying it to her, and I didn't give her my consent.
Oh.
So if she watches this video, now I've assaulted her. No, but I'm saying it to her. I'm saying it to her right now, okay? Harass her right now, okay? Let's harass her right now. Harass her right now. I want to harass her right now, okay? Penis.
I'm so offended.
David,
you didn't ask my consent.
Penis.
But you know what? You have my consent for everything. Oh, now she's gonna send you a cease and desist and a quote. She's trying to get a restraining order.
Let's go again.
Because I call out her bullshit.